Now it's just, I guess, at a week away or so of the opener, like how different does it feel with this group connected versus at this time last year when just new faces and just getting things going?
I think feels like we've been together for at least 2-3 years now. I mean, like you said, last year, a couple of new faces we were trying to incorporate to our offense and defense and things like that, our system and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been together for 2-3 years now. We know each other's roles. We know how to communicate each other. We know how to take or listen to the message and not how it's being displayed. We know all that type of stuff. Whereas though, we all got one goal, and that's to win. So whatever's just displayed. We know how to display it, and we know how to correct it if anything.
You were talking about that message and listening to it. Like you've been with Finch now the whole time he's been here. Like, how does he? What's the key for him being able to deliver those messages and not getting old to you guys and not kind of changing that way?
I mean, when stuff is repetitive, it kind of gets old. But it's like when you're locked in and engaged, and you know what's at task and what's at hand, you kind of know what's up, and you kind of know how to just boggle down and get the work done regardless. Because it's something that he's preached, where it's something that you want to do versus you have to do, and you got to be able to do both. And I think we all want to be here and want to do it and want to win. So I think that's the biggest key.
Now, people on the outside look at development as young guys having to play. But it seems like a lot of you guys have developed even with lesser minutes, and then you grow into roles. How does this organization and this staff go about developing young players that has kind of helped a lot of you guys along?
You're staying in the gym regardless of what day of the week it is, what's going on for the most part. Just staying in the gym, staying on top of your work. I think that's key. I mean, it's kind of how you get to levels like Ann and Julius are at. It's just all-star levels. I think their work speaks for themselves, and you kind of follow suit as a younger guy, and goes down the line. And I think we were in the same predicaments ourselves. Playing in games like yesterday. Not wondering why the older guys weren't playing, but wanting to be in that position. So I think everybody has to take their course and take their time. But I think staying in the gym is key.
So there's more ways to develop than just getting out there. Like you see a lot of younger guys maybe on bad teams. They're playing a lot of minutes, but there's far different tracks you can take,
right.
I guess.
100%. But also to that point, it's like I also get it. You're drafted into a situation or picked up into a situation where you got to put the work in, do what you do. If you're on the floor early, you got to perform. And then as you go on in your career, you never know. You may get into a winning position. You might be the guy on the winning team. Whatever whatever hand may play, you play out. So I think just staying the course. That's the main thing.
Coach was talking about the other day, kind of varying what you guys do in late game situations, because last year in the regular season that was a bit of a struggle for you guys. As you guys have worked on that in training camp, have you kind of seen that variety?
Yes.
Pick and rolls with Mike or Julius, and how maybe you fit into that?
I mean, I think I've been able to handle the ball with Mike screening. Just being able to have versatile, players on the floor is huge. I mean, we all can play multiple positions. That's why it's huge to know each and every position. And then it's like it's a matchup night. You got to try and guard. A pick and roll with me and Mike, or Julius and Ant, or Jaden and Rudy. Those things, those type of things. So it's just kind of having those different weapons is key. And obviously going through it through training camp and preseason and stuff. Kind of getting the look and feel for it for the regular season.
You swing between first and second units, so you pretty much play good, solid minutes with everybody. What are some of the favorite 2 or 3 or 4 player combinations where you're just in your game because you have different roles?
Maybe Rob, Jaden, Ant, Julius, me, Dante, Mike, me, Dante, Rudy, me, Mike, me, Rudy. There's a bunch of combinations like that. That's key, having those multiple weapons and multiple situations or predicaments, and anybody can handle or anybody can screen and roll, pick and pop, and that in that situation. So that's the blessing of I think having the team that we have.
Is everybody comfortable running a pick and roll with a minute left? It's just not something you see in the NBA very often.
I believe so. I mean, I think I've seen it in practice. I mean, obviously it's different when the lights come on the court, but I've seen how comfortable each and every guy is in that situation. So I mean, I believe so.
How do you guys? The seasons have been good, but how do you guys make sure that the opener isn't a clunker like it's been the last couple of years?
I mean, just trying to start the year differently. I mean, obviously the way we started the year, I think maybe 2 years ago, is how you want to start. You got to win those games that matter most, and obviously I'm not disrespecting anybody, but obviously the the teams that, aren't, 500 and so forth and so on, you got to win those games. Those games are key. Those games you got to have under your belt. It gives you a chance to, down the line, you might lose a good game, game winner, so forth, such and so forth. But, being able to have those games under your belt, I think, those matter most.
But even when you guys were great 2 years ago, like that night one in Toronto was not good.
No, it wasn't. But also, I think after that, we went on like like a 6-game win streak. But I think just being ready. I think being ready, staying focused, being engaged. I mean, obviously, opener, you're supposed to be ready regardless. But just having a different mentality, I think.
Now, you've been with Ant the whole time he's been here. How is he maybe different, same coming into this year as opposed to maybe a couple other years?
I think the mentality shift is completely different. I think the winning mentality, I think the way he strives for greatness, obviously, the way he works, he has younger guys in the gym following suit, TJ, Rob, and those guys, and I think he's ready to win. I think that's the most important. Obviously, stats are one thing and individual accolades are one thing, but I think he's been more about the team, and I think that's one of the biggest growth areas for me.
I was going to say, he's talked a lot about wanting to take on more defensive matches, be better on that end of the floor. Have you noticed more of a commitment from him?
Yeah, for sure. And coach challenges him, we challenge him, and I think he's he's up for that challenge. I mean, we all seen him before where he's not shying away from no challenge. So I think him being the best in his ability and him knowing he could be the best on ball, off ball, two-way guard in the league is something that we all know he can be. So.
Do you think the way you guys lost to OKC was maybe even more motivating than like the Dallas series? You can probably look back and be like, we just let this slip and this slip. But the OKC was a bigger thing of we need to get better. We need to approach this better.
Yeah, I think the approach more than anything. I think obviously they came out on top and they're champions for a reason. But obviously, I think we had a lot more basketball to ourselves and our brand as well. I mean, I think, like you said, Dallas was like kind of a slip. I think OKC we kind of let ourselves down. So I think that's the biggest thing for me.
In what way do you think you guys let yourselves down?
Just weren't, we were prepared properly. I think we didn't come out there with the right energy, effort, and intensity.
Those are like habits that if you build over the season, it'll be there.
Yeah, and that's something that we got. I think the last 17, we went 17-4 in the last stretch, I believe. So I mean, we kind of built some momentum, but having that throughout the whole season, how they did, you obviously could see what that does to a system and a team and organization.